Hello everyone. It's just after noon on Monday the 29th of August. It's our first day of class for the fall semester 2016. I should have the Blackboard section for the class up and running. In fact, by the time you get this, it should be already going. I want to take a little time to introduce the class, cover some of the basic elements. I've sent a syllabus to everyone. I've also posted a copy of the syllabus on our Blackboard webpage, so you have access to that in case you lose your email. But this is EPSY 5314, History of Education. I'm Dr. Lee Doomer. I'm with the Educational Psychology and Leadership Program. I'm with Educational Psychology and the Higher Education Programs. A little bit about the course. This is a foundational level course meant to provide you with a foundational level understanding of history of education in Western civilization and in time and space that runs from ancient Greece through Europe to the present day United States. I encourage you to really take some time to read the syllabus. I know there is a lot of information in there, there's a lot to read, but it's all there with the purpose of helping you understand the expectations, goals for the course to help you succeed. Let's see. First thing I want to make sure is understood, because I know this can be a little confusing, is weekly participation. You have two options every week, and you only have to pick one of them. You can participate through the discussion on Blackboard, and each week we'll have a discussion board, and that's based on the readings for that week. You can bring up questions, observations, but if you choose to do that, you'll need to make one initial post, and the guidelines for that are in the syllabus, and then reply to at least one will be sufficient, but at least one other person's message. Your other option is that you can participate in one of 3 live online discussions I offer over the course of the week. I have 3 different times. You only need to participate in one of those. Reason I have 3 different times is to offer 3 different days with 3 different times to accommodate people's schedules. Of course, many of you work in the schools and have limited time on your hands or fairly prescribed schedules. So if you can't do the online meetings, live meetings, then you can certainly participate in the asynchronous online discussions in Blackboard. You only have to do one or the other. If you want to do both, terrific, you're certainly welcome to. If you choose to participate in one of the Skype discussions, you only have to be there once a week. If you want to be there for 3, that's fine. The Skype discussions we'll probably use more to answer questions people have, questions about assignments, or just questions about the readings, anything that's unclear or that they'd like to elaborate on. So one or the other. And you can vary from week to week. If you decide one week you want to participate in the Blackboard discussion, the next week you're certainly welcome to participate in one of the Skype discussions. If you decide you want to participate in a Wednesday Skype discussion one week and a Friday the next, it's entirely up to you. So you have a lot of freedom in terms of that. And the guidelines and the times are all in the syllabus. One of the assignments we'll have will be a journal article critique, and those will be due at different points throughout the semester. I think during our second week of class next week, once enrollment stabilized. Usually we have some people drop, some people come in late. I'll assign you to one of 2 different groups, A group and B group. And in the syllabus, I think on pages 3 or 4, you'll find dates for when those critiques, journal article critiques, are due, based on which group you're in, A or B. Journal article critique is really to give you a sense of how to analyze and how to understand journal articles and how history is written. Much of history is written in books, but in terms of the academic world, much of it is written for other scholars and for students in the form of journal articles. Those are great for us to critique because not only does it help us understand history, it helps us understand how research is done. And as being a research university, research should be part of everything we do. Even if you don't plan on becoming a scholar, it's important for you to know how to evaluate good scholarship. What's an appropriate article? Well, this would be something that's published in a peer-reviewed journal. A peer-reviewed journal is a journal where research articles are published that go through the peer review process or the referee process. It means that somebody would submit an article to a journal. They would send it out to external reviewers, and it's a double-blind process. By that it means, let's say I'm writing something for a journal, it's sent out to 2, 3, 4 reviewers. I don't know who the reviewers are. And when they get my manuscript, my name isn't on it, so they don't know who I am. It means it's double-blind. So it goes through the peer review process. One thing I would encourage you to do, if you have an interest in any particular type of education, or if you're going into a particular field of education, you know what that is. Use this exercise as an opportunity to expand your understanding of history in your particular field. So for example, if you're with special education, maybe you have a particular interest in special education, autism education, for example. You could use this as an opportunity to identify 4 journal articles based on autism in history of education. Keep in mind, they have to be history of education. They have to pertain to education, and they have to be historical in nature. But use these as an opportunity to identify articles that will help you strengthen your understanding, foundational understanding of history in your field. So if you can make this exercise multi-purpose, strengthen your research skills by evaluating research, understand how to evaluate historical research, and use this as an opportunity to expand your understanding of history in your field, I think you'll really get a lot out of this assignment. My goal is you'll have 2 weeks between each of the assignments you turn in. There'll be 4 assignments, 4 papers, journal article critiques. I will return each of those to you before your next one is due, so that you can use the input from that to improve on your performance in the next paper. Apart from being good pedagogy, giving people formative rather than just summative feedback, it helps you improve your performance, and that's what we want. We don't want ourselves to be content with some quiescent level of performance. We want to continually seek to improve ourselves, and that goes for all of us. But I will return each of your papers before the next one is due, so you can use the feedback to help you in the writing analysis process. I've also posted an example on the Blackboard page of what a good journal article critique looks like. In terms of finding good journal articles, I would suggest you go to the library. You don't have to physically go, although it's good to do so because many of the journals are not electronically available. Many are, some are not. But go to one of the database searches. First search is very good. Go to advanced search. Advanced search. Let's say, for example, use autism. If you're interested in autism education, go to advanced search, type in several keywords. Autism, education, history. Whatever you do, be sure to include the term history in it. Contemporary data-driven articles, research articles that aren't grounded in history, where the article is not primarily centered in history, would not be appropriate. So make sure you use the term history in any of your searches. And then you should be able to find several journal articles. You can customize your output so that it will give you referee journal articles rather than just book. It'll isolate out, separate book chapters, conference papers. Those, of course, would not be appropriate. So you can customize the output for peer-reviewed journal articles. That's probably the best way to do it. If you have difficulty finding something within your field, contact me, let me know. I can always help. That's what I'm here to do. We have a text for the course, and that's listed in the syllabus. I keep pointing over here because it's on my other screen. We also have a list of supplemental readings. You'll find the link for that in the syllabus and also in the page. I've just finished checking the links. Everything is working properly. Most of the learning modules have a video that accompanies it. It's housed through the university here on something called Silverlight. Want to talk about that briefly. We have had some compatibility issues with Silverlight. So if the link doesn't work, and I've posted 2 different links. There are some links that go directly to the video for that week. There's also a general link under classroom videos that goes to the page that contains all the videos for the course. So you shouldn't have any difficulty finding them. The issue is compatibility, whether they will play on your personal computer or laptop. Compatibility issues we've had difficulty with the past few years. If you find you're not able to view it, my best advice is to try a different browser. Some internet browsers work better than others, and they're free. So if one browser doesn't work with the videos, try another. If you've tried several different browsers and they don't work, or if you have any difficulty in general with the web page, accessibility issues, difficulty logging in, problems of that kind, I'm probably not the best person to call first. Tech support is there to help you with those issues. So if you have compatibility issues with videos, you've tried several different browsers, they don't work, please call tech support, information technology. They're the professionals. They're really there to help you with these problems. By all means, keep me informed. Let me know, and let me know that you've contacted them so I can follow up if I need to. But in terms of technical problems, keep in mind, always the best person to call is someone in tech support. Most of your faculty are not experts in technology. We are experts in our own fields of study, and that probably doesn't include educational technology, particularly because it has become so specialized and so complex. So if you have technical problems, tech support is the first place to call. Please keep me informed, however, so I can follow up on it. Trying to think of anything else I want to add. At this point, I can't think of it. I'm a pretty easy person to reach. I'm at the office usually 5 days a week. My phone here, email I can access from home, from my smartphone as well. If you have any questions, by all means, email me or call me. Also, I'm not very formal, so if I'm in the office and my door is open and you happen to be here, just come on in. You don't need to make an appointment. If you're going to walk across campus or drive in town, I'd suggest you make one. Because I'm in 2 different programs, educational psychology and higher education, I attend twice as many faculty meetings. I'm also on a lot of dissertations, and sometimes those will overlap with my office hours. So if you're going to walk across campus or drive into town to meet me, I'd suggest you make an appointment just so you won't be disappointed when you get here, because sometimes my schedule can be unpredictable. In terms of turning in assignments, please do not use Blackboard to turn in any of your assignments. Send them directly to my office email, lee.doomer@ttu.edu. If you have questions about the course, I would suggest not using Blackboard. Again, use my office email, lee.doomer@ttu.edu. There's a very good reason for this. Blackboard sometimes has technical issues, and it happens more often than it does with our internet service or our email. And about 2 years ago, Blackboard went down for a week during one of the summer sessions. And given the summer sessions are 4.5 weeks, that's almost 25% of course content. So if for any reason Blackboard were to have technical problems, and it often does, and we could probably expect it to happen sometime this semester, if you were to send me an email or an assignment, I would not be able to access it. Our email, our office email, what program we use, Outlook, much more reliable. It's also easier for me to access. I can access my office email on my smartphone very quickly. I can get to Blackboard on my smartphone, but it takes a lot of other steps and is quite a bit slower. So if you have questions about the course, If when you have assignments to turn in, your journal article critiques, please send them directly to my office address. Don't count on using Blackboard for anything essential, because if it fails, then we can't access it at all, and that has been a problem in the past. So let's see, a little bit about myself. Dr. Lee Doomer. I'm a professor with EPSY and higher education. I've been here since 1999. My main area of interest is history of higher education in the United States, history of education. I did my graduate work at the University of Pittsburgh. My master's, MA, was in higher ed. Not higher ed administration, that was an MED. But higher education in terms of the study of higher education, history of higher ed, philosophy of higher ed. My doctorate is in what's called social, historical, and philosophical foundations of education. I specialized in history, particularly history of higher education in the United States. I also have secondary interests in philosophy of education, and more recently looking into some contemporary higher ed issues, particularly issues that pertain to academic freedom in academia. So that's what keeps me busy. My free time, I enjoy working around the house, gardening, landscaping, home improvement are hobbies. I'm married. I have 3 children, 3 boys. My oldest is junior at Lubbock High. My youngest is 8 years old. He's in 3rd grade. My second son was born in 2004. Unfortunately, he died after his first birthday, so he's not at home anymore, but still everyday part of my life. So out of here, I keep busy. I enjoy, particularly when I'm not at work. This is intellectual labor. I enjoy physical labor. I find having a balance between intellectual labor, physical labor, and for lack of a better term, what I would call a certain amount of meditation, gives me a balance in my life. When I have too much of one or the other, hard to describe. I don't feel like myself. I don't feel like there's a balance. Doesn't work for everyone, but we all need some sort of things in our life to give us a sense of balance, identity, and I suppose those are my balance, and a large part of my identity. I've loved working in academia. I can't think of any place else I would rather be. Working at a university, we meet people that we would never meet anywhere else in the world. It's an exciting place to be, and I can't imagine being anywhere else. So, take some time to introduce yourselves. I'll put up a board for week 1, and we'll just say week 1 introductions. And take some time to introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, what program you're in, your interests. Tell us also about what brought you here. Keep in mind, all of us are here by choice. Every one of us, myself included. And talk a little bit about the choices that brought you here and where you see yourself going after graduate school, whether it's you're here for a master's, doctorate, post-bac degree. What brought you here and where you see yourself going, and anything else you'd like to tell us about yourself. Look forward to the semester. If you have any questions, please contact me as soon as possible. Don't wait until the day before the assignment is due or at the end of the semester. Let me know right away, because if you have a question about something, it's very likely someone else will. And that's what I am here to help you with. So looking forward to a good semester. You know where to reach me, and I'll be in touch again soon. If you'd like, what I can do is put together little weekly updates like this online. Let me know if you'd like me to do that. Talk about the readings, talk about the discussions, kind of sum them up. If you'd like me to do that, I'd be glad to do so. Put together weekly videos like this on YouTube, and just look forward to being in communication. Bye for now.